The Kansas City T-Bones proudly present T-Bones Baseball on the Air. Members of the American Association of Independent Professional Baseball Clubs and home of fun well done. The T-Bones Broadcast Network is brought to you by Community America Credit Union, Austin's Trailers and Motorsports, Budweiser, Coca-Cola, Price Chopper, Providence Medical Center, the Kansas Lottery, FlyKCI.com, Roma Bakery, Sheet Metal Local Number 2, and Kissick Construction. Now let's head out to the ballpark for the starting lineups and the first pitch with the voice of the T-Bones, Nathan Moore. Welcome to beautiful Community America Ballpark as we get set for the finale of this three-game series between Kansas City and Sioux City here on a very warm afternoon. I'm Matt Folks filling in for Nathan Moore. Nate will be back with us in Lincoln coming up in about a week or so, but we'll talk about that here momentarily. Kansas City has won the first two games of this series, winning last night by a final of 7-5 as Brett Wiley continued his hot streak, going 3 for 4 last night, but Brian Erie was just as hot with 3 hits as well and 3 knocked in. They both came up in a couple big situations and put Kansas City in a good position to win that game last night as Jared Messer got hit the win, his third on the season. We're going to take a 2-minute timeout. When we come back, we'll have the starting lineups and the first pitch for you listening to Kansas City T-Bones on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Welcome back to Community America Ballpark as we get set for the finale of this three-game series, the finale of this three-game homestand, a very quick homestand here for the T-Bones. They'll get set to head out down south for a few games coming up next week, and then up to Lincoln, and then back home here in Kansas City coming up in a couple weeks on the 22nd against Winnipeg. We'll talk about that more as we go through this game tonight. So Kansas City and Sioux City both coming in here 22 and 26 overall. Your starting lineups tonight. First for the visiting Explorers, batting first will be the designated hitter Derek Robinson. Batting second, the center fielder Matty Johnson. Batting third and playing shortstop Nate Sampson. Jarrett Cunningham at second base, he's batting fourth. Batting fifth will be the third baseman, Tommy Mendonça. Batting sixth and catching tonight, Ralph Enriquez. We've seen him in right field the first two games of this series. In left field tonight, batting seventh will be Tim Caldwell. Batting eighth, the right fielder, Tim Coach. And batting ninth at first base, Brendan Slattery. So again, it's Robinson at DH, Johnson in center field, Sampson at short, Cunningham at second, Mendonça at third, Enriquez catching, Caldwell in left, Coach in right, and Slattery at first base. And pitching tonight for the Explorers will be Cody Forsyth, coming in here 3-3 overall with a 6.48 ERA. For Kansas City, it'll be Starlin Rodriguez in left, Tyler Massey in center, Jake Blackwood at first. We'll go around defensively here momentarily for Kansas City as we get set with Josh Tolles on the mound, making his second start for the T-Bones. He's getting ready to go on a bit of a journey after this game. We'll talk about that here in these first couple innings. First pitch, and we're underway here at Community America Ballpark as it misses inside to Derek Robinson. Derek Robinson went 1 for 4 last night. Swings at the second pitch and lifts it high into shallow left field. Starlin Rodriguez is there for out number 1. Defensively for Kansas City tonight, in left field Rodriguez, in center Tyler Massey. Dalton Weed is in right. Your infield from third to first, Jimmy Mojica, Vladimir Frias, Brett Wiley, Jake Blackwood, with Brian Erie behind the plate. So it's the same defense we've seen through the first 2 games of this series. Matty Johnson, the batter now, is Johnson was originally the number 5 hitter tonight. Michael Lang, who we have not seen in this series, has been nursing an injury. He was on late scratch, was supposed to be hitting in this number 2 spot, but they scratched him just a few minutes ago and moved Johnson back to the number 2 hole. As he bloops this toward left, Rodriguez comes in. We'll let it drop in front of him for a 1-out single. Josh Tolles making his 15th appearance for Kansas City. As I mentioned, his second start here this season. A 4-2 record, 3.74 ERA. He's appeared in 33 2/3 innings, given up 25 hits. 15 runs, 14 of those have been earned. Tolles has walked 18, struck out 29. Nate Sampson, a .335 hitter, digs in on the right side of the plate against the lefty Tolles. As the first pitch is upstairs. Tolles has given up 2 home runs, 2 doubles. He's faced 142 batters, and they're hitting .212 against the lefty from Adelaide, Australia. Tolles with that very slow motion out of the stretch with a runner on first. If you tell him he has a good move to first, which he does, he'll kind of shrug it off and say, I don't really have a good move to first. I read the runner. As the next pitch is down low. So 3-0 to Sampson. Johnson with his lead at first. The kick and the pitch, and it's upstairs for ball 4. So first and second now with 1 out here in the top of the first for Sioux City. Sioux City coming into this game 22-26. Kansas City coming into this game 22-26. The loser of this game will occupy the bottom spot in the Central Division after tonight. Jarrett Cunningham, the second baseman's the batter now. Runners at first and second with 1 away. That big curveball from Josh Tolles at 66 is in there for a strike. That is one thing we will see quite a bit of tonight from Tolles, is that big looping curveball. A check of the runner at second, comes to the plate, and it's grounded sharply down the third base side. Right-handers hitting .225 against Tolles. Left-handers batting .184 against him. Similar numbers to Evan DeLuca that we talked about last night, as this one's lifted into left field. Rodriguez is there for out number 2. Runners hold up at first and second. So 2 outs here in the first. Runners at first and second to bring up the third baseman, Tommy Mendoza. With the late scratch of Michael Lang tonight, Mendoza, Enriquez, Caldwell, and Coach all moved up from the 6, 7, 8, 9 spots to 5, 6, 7, and 8. So Tommy Mendoza, a left-handed hitter with a wide open stance. Tolles with a couple looks at second, and now Mendoza will call time. Josh Tolles, 5'7", 175. Still classified as a rookie, although he pitched last season out of Rockhurst University. Runners are going. The pitch is outside. The throw down to second is on time from Brian Erie to Jimmy Mojica, and Matty Johnson will be thrown out at third base for the final out here in the top of the first inning. Matty Johnson has now been caught 6 times trying to steal, but none bigger for Kansas City than this one right here, as it goes down to 2-5 putout for out number 3. So Mendoza will be leading off the second inning for Sioux City. For the Explorers here in the first inning, no runs on 1 hit. There were no errors, and they'll leave 1 on base. We head to the bottom of the first. Sioux City nothing, Kansas City coming up back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
Welcome back to Community America Ballpark as we head to the bottom of the first inning. Sioux City got a couple runners aboard in the top of this inning, but trying to double steal, and Brian Erie with no problem throwing out Matty Johnson, the lead runner, at third base, as the left-handed hitting Tommy Mendoza was up. The pitch was outside, so Brian Erie with a clear lane to throw down to third base, and it was a good pitch for him to handle, and a perfectly thrown ball down to Jimmy Mojica covering third base. So we go to the bottom of the first now. It'll be Starlin Rodriguez, Tyler Massey, Jake Blackwood, the 3 hitters for Kansas City. After Blackwood, Anthony Gauss batting 4th. He's your DH. Batting 5th at third base, Mojica. Brett Wiley's at second, batting 6th. As the first pitch is outside to Starlin Rodriguez. Vladimir Frias at shortstop tonight, batting 7th. Brian Erie's catching, batting 8th, and then Dalton Wheat is in right field and batting 9th, as this one is in there for a strike to Rodriguez, a .250 hitter with 2 home runs, 11 RBIs. Lines this one with a leadoff single to get things going here in the bottom of the first for Kansas City. Rodriguez had a leadoff double last night that was just inches from going into the Explorers bullpen and giving Kansas City a 1-0 lead. As it turned out, Rodriguez and Massey both scored on the first of 3 hits on the night for Brett Wiley. Tyler Massey up there now as the first pitch misses. Outside. Cody Forsythe, the left-hander. 6 foot, 170 out of Calvert City, Kentucky. Gets Massey to pop this one up on the left side of the infield. The shortstop, Sampson, is there for out number 1. So with Rodriguez at first and 1 away, brings up the first baseman, Jake Blackwood. Forsythe, 3-3 on the season, making his 10th start here for the Explorers. Has a 6.48 ERA. He's appeared in 50 innings. Has given up 51 hits in those 50 innings. 38 runs, 36 have been earned. He has walked 22 and struck out 44. Forsythe's biggest problem has been the home run ball. Kansas City has yet to hit a home run in this series. But Forsythe has given up 12 home runs this year. As Blackwood grounds this one to short, it should be 2, and it is. A 6-4-3 double play grounded into by Jake Blackwood. So Forsythe will end up facing the minimum here in the bottom of the first, even though Kansas City appeared to get things going with Starlin Rodriguez and his leadoff single. So here in the first for Kansas City, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on. We've played 1, no score. Back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
We go to the second. It'll be Mendoza leading things off, followed by Enriquez and Tim Caldwell here against Josh Tolles. Tommy Mendoza was at the plate against Tolles in the first inning when the Explorers tried to double steal and Matty Johnson, the lead runner, was thrown out at third base. So Mendoza will get to see Tolles for a second time in just a few minutes. As the first pitch is in there for a called strike. Mendoza batting .266, 5 home runs, 30 driven in. Slow curveball, big swing and a miss. Oh, 2 the count. The next pitch, just a bit outside. Mendoza watches the next pitch, curveball, miss one away. Mendoza, .274 hitter against righties, .266 on the season. Against left-handers, he is hitting .217. As he just reaches out and rolls this one down to third. Mojica up with it, a high throw, but Blackwood able to reach up and make the play for out number 1. We have seen John Mazzarelli use lefties out of the bullpen, and really just one lefty in particular, Evan DeLuca. We saw him come in last night and just face Mendoza. Ended up going a couple more batters after that, but that's the main way that we could see DeLuca being used tonight. Kansas City went to the bullpen 5 times last night. And that 7-5 win as this pitch is upstairs to Ralph Enriquez. Enriquez catching tonight. We've seen him in right field the first 2 games of this series as this pitch paints the black on the inside corner for a called strike. Enriquez went 2 for 3 last night with a run scored. The 2-1 pitch is in there for a strike. Enriquez not happy with Mike Jarbo's call. Will step out and now dig back in on the right side. Here's the windup in the 2-2. Went chasing. Came up empty. Here he dropped the ball, but will throw down to first for the putout. So the first strikeout of the night for Tolles and the second out here in the second inning. Brings up the left fielder, Tim Caldwell. Caldwell went 1 for 4 last night with a run scored. Batting .253 with no home runs, 21 RBIs. Tim Caldwell is the best hitter against Kansas City this season for Sioux City. In 5 games, so the 3-game series up there, and now the first 2 games of this series, Caldwell batting .444 against Kansas City as this pitch misses going away. He is 8 for 18. As this one will paint the black on the outside corner for a called strike. Caldwell with 1 double, 1 triple, 4 RBIs against the T-Bones. He has struck out only once. Next pitch bloop toward the right field corner. It's going to drop in for extra bases as rounding first, heading to second is Caldwell. The throw to second base will not come in as Wade had trouble picking it up and getting over there before Caldwell ends up at second with a 2-out double. So it just continues for Caldwell against Kansas City. Brings up the right fielder, Matt Coach. Coach has been the catcher the first 2 games of the series. And on the right side of the plate, the first pitch is popped up. This one should find the seats. And it will. Hits right in the aisle, almost bounces up to the sweet level, but ends up falling into somebody's lap down below. So it's 0-1 to Matt Coach, a .221 hitter. No score, top of the second inning. Tim Caldwell, after the double, gets his lead at second base. Runner takes off. The pitch is outside. The throw down to second, not in time. As Caldwell will get a stolen base. And for Caldwell here on the season, we've talked about the ability for Sioux City to steal. That's the 16th on the season for Tim Caldwell. He had 2 last night to tie him for second. This one ties him for first. Nate Sampson has 16. Michael Lang, who was a late scratch tonight, has 15. Derek Robinson has 14. As a team, the Explorers now with 77. Here's the 2-1 pitch. It's upstairs. For comparison, Kansas City with 40 stolen bases. As this pitch misses high and away, so Matt Coach will get a 2-out walk. That's the second given up by Tolles. Runners at the corners for Brendan Slattery. Slattery has been in this 9 spot the first 2 games of the series. Has been the first baseman the first 2 games of the series, playing first again tonight. But with Michael Lang not being able to go, Slattery was the one added to the lineup. And on the right side of the plate, the big curveball at 66 misses high and away. The 1-ball pitch is lifted into right center. Wheat will drift over and make the play for out number 3. So with 2 outs, Sioux City will put runners on the corners, but unable to score from that point. So here in the second for Sioux City, they'll get no runs on 1 hit. There were no errors and 2 left on. We head to the bottom of the second. No score at Community America Ballpark. We're back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. Providence Medical Group has offices in Bonner Springs, Basehor, Tonganoxie, Lansing, Leavenworth, and KCK. That's why we're the go-to community hospital in the region. If you're a T-Bones fan, count on the medical team that takes care of your team. The great doctors of Providence Medical Center, just east of the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Learn more at providencekc.com.
Heathwood Oil Company was the first independently owned oil company in Kansas City, and they're now one of the oldest continuously family-owned oil companies in the Midwest, featuring Citgo lubricants. With a current bulk storage capacity of over 250,000 gallons, they have the products you need. Let Heathwood and Citgo design a Citgo lubricants program to reduce cost and increase production. Call 913-321-1764 or email sales@heathwoodoil.com. Heathwood and Citgo, your lubrication specialist since 1926.
We go to the bottom of the second. No score here at Community America Ballpark. Matt Folks here along with you, along with our executive producer, engineer, Charlie Boy here tonight. Nathan Moore will be back with you when the team heads to Lincoln in a little more than a week on the 19th of July. We'll talk about that road trip. A nice long road trip for the T-Bones. We've had some odd 3-game road trips, 3-game homestands here in the last couple weeks, but they'll get their first long road trip since the first one of the year. Anthony Gallus, the batter. First pitch misses outside. The second offering from Forsyth has popped up toward the Kansas City dugout and reaching in, but unable to make the play is Enriquez, as manager John Mazzarelli will help the fellow catcher Enriquez as he started to flip into the Kansas City dugout. So it'll be 1-1 to Anthony Gallus, who's hitting .219, 9 home runs, 21 RBIs. Gallus 0 for 3 last night as he fouls this one right to third base coach Dave Schaub. He is making an excuse for why he was unable to field that one, as this ball is popped up right side in foul territory. Slattery coming in, and the first baseman will call off Enriquez and make the play for out number 1. So 1 up, 1 down here in the second. I'll bring up the third baseman, Jimmy Mojica. Although it is somewhat skewed, Mojica with the best batting average for Kansas City at .471. Skewed because he's played in only 5 games. First pitch missing way inside from Forsythe. Mojica 8 for 17. 2 doubles, no triples, no home runs. He fouls this one back. He scored 3 runs. He has 3 RBIs. He's walked twice, struck out 3 times. So he digs back in, started to step out, and then realized that he wasn't going to get time. Ends up popping it up into shallow center field. Matty Johnson is there, camps under and pulls it down for out number 2. So Mojica started to step out. Forsythe was taking a long time. Mike Jarbeau did not give Mojica timeout, so Jimmy, who had just his lead foot, his left foot, had stepped out at that point, stuck it back in and went on a swung and popped it out. So Brett Wiley the batter now. Wiley, the hottest hitter in the American Association at this point. Over the last week, Wiley is batting .600. .326 on the year, as this one's high and inside. So as you say, Jimmy Mojica's .471 average might be skewed a little bit. Wiley's batting average is not. As this one misses. Wiley has started 41 games. He's appeared in 43 games. Kansas City is on game number 49. Here's a 3-ball pitch. It's upstairs. So Brett Wiley once again gets on base for Kansas City. As Forsythe was giving Wiley nothing close on those 4 pitches. That's the first walk given up by Forsythe. Wiley was a home run shy of the cycle last night after getting a double, single, and triple in that order. So Vladimir Frias will step up. Frias batting from the right side of the plate against the lefty Forsythe. Frias batting .211 on the year as the first pitch is fouled back to the screen. Frias, we mentioned last night, has been struggling quite a bit over the last week and a half. He really has not fared very well against Sioux City. In 5 games, Frias batting .067 against the Explorers. He has just 1 hit against them. That has not come in this series thus far. As this pitch misses low and inside. He does have an RBI, and he has scored 4 runs. As he lines this one into center field, but almost right at Matty Johnson, who will drift over and make the play for out number 3. So a quiet inning for the T-Bones here in the second with no runs on no hits. There were no errors and 1 left on. 2 in the books. We head to the third with Kansas City and Sioux City scoreless here at Community America Ballpark. We're back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
We go to the third inning, and with this, Sioux City will get a chance to see Josh Tolles for the second time tonight, as the Explorers sent 4 to the plate in the first inning and 5 last inning. So we'll be at the top of the order. Derek Robinson, Matty Johnson, and Nate Sampson here to face the lefty Josh Tolles. Big curveball starting off Robinson, in for a strike. Josh Tolles, you'll be able to read more about this tomorrow, but Josh Tolles getting ready to leave for a couple weeks, as he'll be pitching for Team Australia over in Europe this next couple weeks. He leaves the States on Tuesday, flies over to Amsterdam, and they will begin a tournament later this week. Here's a 2-strike pitch to Robinson, way inside. Almost got him, but Robinson scoots out in the nick of time. At first, we talked about this a couple weeks ago with Nate. We were under the impression that when Josh was pitching over in Europe, it was going to be for World Baseball Classic qualifier points, as this ball is going to be lined toward the corner in left field. Robinson will round first and stay there as Rodriguez gets it back in quickly. So a long single for Robinson. That'll be the third hit here tonight for the Explorers. They've had 1 in each inning. So it brings up Matty Johnson. Matty Johnson with the first hit of the night for Sioux City. He singled with 1 away in the first. Went to second base as Sampson was walked, but then on a double steal attempt, Johnson was thrown out at third for the final out of the first inning. Tolles goes over to first. I had mentioned back in the first inning that Tolles says he does not have a good move. He just reads the runners. Robinson kind of jumped towards second, and with that, Tolles threw to first. As this one's lifted deep into left field, could be trouble. Hits in the corner, and they'll say foul ball. Now they'll say it was a home run. From here, it looked like it was a foul ball. We'll watch the replay as Mike Jarbon's going to hear about this. This umpiring crew has heard a lot from John Mazzarelli and the coaches. We'll see if we can see a replay. I'm not sure if the replay would catch that angle or not, but nonetheless, Matty Johnson will get the 2-run homer. And the Explorers will take a 2-0 lead here in the top of the third. And I think the contention from Maz was, from this angle, it looked like the ball was hooking foul. As the 1 pitch to Sampson's on the ground toward third, they'll say it was a foul ball. That's our old friend Matt Herrera down at third base. He's going to hear about it from the fans as Mojica played it and threw to first in plenty of time to get Sampson, but I think the contention from Maz was Jarbeau ended up referring after he didn't see it. He called it foul originally. He went halfway down the line. Manager Steve Montgomery, who's coaching third. This pitch is in the dirt. Started to argue with Jarbeau, who then asked third base umpire Matt Herrera what he saw. Herrera at that point was over by second base. Herrera said it was a home run, so they will give Johnson the 2-run homer. That was the first home run of the season for Johnson. As Sampson will get a free pass for the second time tonight. That's going to bring pitching coach Bill Sobey out. I never did see the replay, but again, just from here, it looked like the ball was going to go out. It was a matter of fair or foul, and it looked like it hooked foul, which is what the home plate umpire, who's going down the line watching it, that's what he called. Nonetheless, Sioux City will lead it here 2-0. As Jarbeau will go out and break up the meeting on the mound. And Jarrett Cunningham will be the batter. Cunningham flied out to Rodriguez his first time up. I had mentioned that this is a muggy night here in Kansas City. Earlier this afternoon, it looked like it could rain here. It ended up missing the ballpark. As Toll slows over to first, Sampson back safely. Sampson tied for the team league with 16 stolen bases. Another throw to first by Tolles. The kick and the pitch, and this one's belted. And now Mike Jarbeau will hear about it from the Kansas City fans. There was no doubt about that one being foul. It headed over the micro league brew stand. As the big curveball is left upstairs and Cunningham swings and misses. Tolles ahead in the count, 0-2. Now an easy throw to first. Nate Sampson tied for second in the league with his 16 stolen bases. Swung on a miss, so Cunningham will go down on strikes. He will be the second strikeout in the first out here in the third inning. Alonzo Harris, who we saw last weekend with St. Paul, has 21 stolen bases. So Tommy Mendonça the batter now. Mendonça grounded out to Mojica's first time up. That was just an inning ago. And on the left side of the plate, Tolles the lefty comes set and comes to the plate. Pitches inside. Derek Robinson started off this inning with a single. Matty Johnson with a somewhat controversial home run that has given the Explorers a 2-0 lead here in the third. Sampson is at first after a walk. Tolles will go over there. Sampson getting happy feet over there, dancing away and then coming back a little bit. Extends his lead a bit. Tolles comes set, comes to the plate. Big curveball in there for a strike. Mendonça, a .264 hitter, 5 home runs, 30 RBIs. Mendonça batting .316 against Kansas City this season. A long look at first, and now Mike Jarbeau will call time. Mike Jarbeau behind the plate. Trent Delmont at first. Matt Herrera at third. The 1-1 to Mendonça is in there for a strike. In 5 games against Kansas City, Mendonça has struck out 6 times. Big curveball is fouled back and out of play. Matty Johnson also has struck out 6 times. Most everybody else in that 1 to 3 range. Here's the 1-2 to Mendonça, fouled back to the screen. So 1-2, still the count to Tommy Mendonça. A nice crowd that was quieted a little bit with Johnson's 2-run homer. Next pitch, curveball, missing all the way. T-Bone's off tomorrow before beginning a 4-game trip to Laredo, and then 3 next weekend at Joplin. And then next Monday off before 3 at Lincoln. Another throw to first by Tolles. So basically 12 days away from Community America Ballpark. Runners going. The throw to first was dropped by Blackwood. Vladimir Frias had deked out Sampson, but when Blackwood dropped the ball, he just kind of looked at it for a second, not realizing that Sampson, after he'd been deked by Frias, started to go back to first. If Blackwood picks that up immediately and throws to second, they've got a very good chance of getting Sampson. Instead, he will get his 17th stolen base. Takes away the double play as Mendonça pops this one up. Into shallow left field. Rodriguez coming in. He'll camp under it and pull it down for out number 2. Nate Sampson holds up at second base, and it brings up Ralph Enriquez with 2 gone here in the second. Enriquez struck out his first time up. An inning ago. Tolles with 2 strikeouts here tonight. Josh comes set at the bell, and a long look to second, and fakes a move back to second base. Neither Wiley nor Frias holding Sampson on. A kick in the pitch is lifted into left field. Rodriguez is there, and he'll make the play for out number 3. But not before Sioux City will get on the board first here tonight. Here in the inning, they get 2 runs on 2 hits. There were no errors, and 1 left on. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. Sioux City 2, Kansas City nothing. Back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
We go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Kansas City trailing it 2-0 after the 2-run homer by Matty Johnson in the top of this inning. It'll be 8-9-1 for Kansas City. Brian Erie, Dalton Wheat, then back to the top with Starlin Rodriguez. So Brian Erie, who had 3 hits last night, will lead things off for Kansas City as the first pitch misses inside. Next offering from Forsyth is in there for a strike. Brian Erie with 3 multi-hit games here in this past week. He had 3 hits and 3 RBIs last night, as he grounds this one just under Mendoza, who was diving on the play. And Brian Erie will have a leadoff single here in the 3rd inning. That'll bring up the right fielder, Dalton Wheat. So Dalton Wheat in the 9 hole tonight. He went 0 for 3 last night. Wheat in on the left side of the plate. Forsyth, the lefty, comes set. The 1-ball pitch is way inside. This one's in there for a strike. A throw over to first by Forsythe. Forsythe kicks and delivers, and Weed grounds this one to the second baseman. Could be two to second, and it will not be two, as Weed will be at first with a fielder's choice. They get the lead runner in Erie, 4-6 for out number one. So with one away and a runner at first, we'll go back to the top of the lineup now with Starlin Rodriguez. Rodriguez singled his first time up, but then was part of a inning-ending 6-4-3 double play. That grounded into by Blackwood. Rodriguez in on the right side of the plate. Forsythe, the lefty, kicks and delivers, and it's in there for a strike. Like the Explorers, Kansas City has had a runner on in each of the first three innings. Unlike the Explorers, Kansas City has not scored and may not here. Could double play ball, 6-4-3. Inning-ending double play grounded into by Rodriguez. So another relatively quiet inning for Kansas City here against Cody Forsythe, who has not had many quiet nights on the mound for Sioux City this season. We've played three. We head to the fourth with Kansas City trailing it 2-0. We're back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid. The familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
We go to the fourth. Tim Caldwell, Matt Coach, Brendan Slattery, the 7-8-9 hitters. Here to face Josh Tolles. Sioux City leading it 2-0 after the two-run homer by Matty Johnson last inning. As the first pitch misses to Caldwell. 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors. 4 left on so far for the Explorers. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on for Kansas City as Caldwell pops this one up toward the Kansas City dugout. Here he throws the mask, and the catcher camps on it and pulls it down for out number 1. So 1 away here in the fourth for the right fielder, Matt Coach. Coach walked his first time up and was stranded at first. First pitch to Coach, misses inside. Here's the windup and the 1-ball pitch. A little bit upstairs. Matt Coach, 2 for 8 here this weekend against Kansas City. As this one's in there for a strike. On the season, he's hitting .221 with 4 home runs, 28 driven in. First day of the new tongue as this pitch will paint the black on the inside corner for a called strike. Coach with an RBI this weekend, but he's also struck out 3 times. Here's the 2-2, fouls it back to the screen. Here's the windup in the 2-2. Blooped over the head of Frias into left center for a 1-out single by Coach. So Coach has been on base twice tonight. That'll be the 5th hit of the night for the Explorers. Brings up the number 9 hitter, Brendan Slattery. Kansas City came into this series 2 games behind Sioux City. After winning the first 2 games, the teams coming in here 22 and 26 tonight. The winner will take 3rd place. The loser will stay in last. Kansas City, nonetheless, with the first 2 wins, has won 4 consecutive series now. As this pitch is high and away. Next pitch from Tolles is high and away. It's 3-0 now to Slattery. Tolles has walked 3 here tonight. But this would be one that has the automatics in there for a called strike. After giving up a base hit with 1 out to the number 8 hitter, you really don't want to walk the number 9 hitter. Tolles, whenever a runner's aboard, takes a lot of time between pitches. Big swing and a miss by Slattery, so Tolles has gone from 3-0 to a full count. Three balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Tolles gets to one he wants from here. He comes set at the belt. The kick and the payoff pitch is swung on and fouled back toward the kids' play area. A fan still letting Mike Jarbeau, the home plate umpire, hear his displeasure about the home run call last inning. Here's a 3-2 pitch again. This one's popped up right side, but it's going to find its way into the seats behind the tarp and then bounces back into the field. Wiley tried to throw it into the stands and it was short. Now he's got to go chase it and we'll throw it up again. Kansas City begins a 4-game series at Laredo beginning Monday night. 3-2 pitch, line just over the head of Brett Wiley. Massey will get it back in, but it'll be first and second now with 1 away here in the 4th. So Derek Robinson will come to the plate for the 3rd time tonight. He's 1 for 2. He was on first base after a single last inning when Matty Johnson, who waits on deck, hit the home run that put the Explorers up 2-0. Tolles comes set at the belt. Taking a lot of time, now delivers the pitch, and it's in there for a strike on the outside part of the plate. Mike Kickham will go for Kansas City on Monday night. Josh Hodges, whom the T-Bones acquired Thursday, will go Tuesday. Jared Messer goes Wednesday. Here's the one-strike pitch. It's fouled off the sweet seats right next to us, and a couple of the fans on the suite level tried to catch it, and they missed it. It bounced off the step and went downstairs. So 0-2 now to Robinson. Robinson, a .315 hitter, digs back in on the right side of the plate. Before he will see that 0-2 pitch, Tolles fakes the throw back to second. Matt Coach at second base, Brendan Slattery at first. Here's the pitch, popped up, left side, in fair territory. The infield fly will be caught by Vladimir Frias. So 2 gone in the fourth as Frias and Mojica will mess with each other as Frias caught that ball pretty close to the third base line. Right in front of his third baseman, Jimmy Mojica. Two outs for Matty Johnson. Johnson homered last inning. Takes a big swing and tips it. That home run looked like it was hooking foul. Mike Jarbeau, the home plate umpire, originally called it foul, and then after Steve Montgomery complained about it, the manager for Sioux City, Jarbeau asked Matt Herrera, the third base umpire who at that time was where he is now, basically between the mound and second base, as this one misses. And Herrera thought that was a home run. So the Explorers leading it 2-0 with that. And the 1-1 pitch to Johnson popped up. On the dirt towards second, Wiley will camp under and pull it down for out number 3. So that'll do it for the Explorers here in the fourth. They get no runs on 2 hits. There were no errors. And 2 left on. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Sioux City 2, Kansas City 0. We're back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services. An accredited chest pain center. or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
2-0 Sioux City as we go to the bottom of the fourth. Tyler Massey, Jake Blackwood, Anthony Gallus. And if anybody gets on, Jimmy Mojica. Cody Forsyth, the left-hander for Sioux City, has given up just 2 hits. A hit in the first inning by Starlin Rodriguez and a hit by Brian Erie last inning. He has walked only 1, but he has had 2 6-4-3 double plays tonight. First pitch to Massey is down low. This would be a good time right about here to see Kansas City get at least one of these 2 runs back as they trail 2-0. Next pitch in for a strike. Forsyth that appeared in one game against Kansas City, that being up in Sioux City a few weeks ago. He went 4 innings in that game, gave up 5 hits, 6 runs, walked 4, struck out 3. Had a 13.50 ERA against Kansas City after that outing. Kansas City had 1 home run against him. But Forsyth has given up 12 on the season. That, by far and away, is more than any other Sioux City pitcher. Big swing and a miss on the 2-2 pitch, so Massey will go down on strikes. It'll be the first strikeout tonight for Forsyth. So the one away here in the fourth, it brings up Jake Blackwood. Blackwood 0 for 1 after grounding into a 6-4-3 inning-ending double play in the first. First pitch in there for a strike. Kansas City has yet to hit a home run here in this series. Popped up, this one in foul territory. A young fan tried to catch it, bobbled it, but the ball went right into the lap of his mom. I think she gave it to him. Comparing Forsyth's 12 home runs he's given up this year. Jordan Cooper has given up the most home runs for Kansas City this year. He's given up 9. As Blackwood goes down on strikes, the second consecutive strikeout for Forsyth. That pitch was high from Forsyth. Here's the 1-strike pitch to Anthony Gallus. It's upstairs. Gallus 0 for 1. He popped out to the first baseman Slattery, leading off the second inning. The one thing you don't want to have happen, and we've seen it really with Massey and Blackwood here this inning, is swinging at pitches that aren't your pitches. Getting into a pitcher's count and chasing balls out of the zone as that one was low and inside, but Gallus swings and misses. And the count's 2-2. Here's the pitch. Lifted into deep center field, but Johnson will backtrack. Camp Hunter to pull it down for out number 3. So a 1-2-3 inning here for Cody Forsyth in the 4th. We go to the 5th, 2-0 Explorers. Back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
Country Inn and Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn and Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
We go to the 5th. It'll be Nate Sampson, followed by Jared Cunningham and Tommy Mendoza. Here from Community America Ballpark, Kansas City trailing the Explorers 2-0. Josh Tolles still on the hill with that big curveball. First pitch missing upstairs to Sampson. Sampson has walked twice tonight. Takes a big swing and a miss at that pitch. Here's the windup in the 1-1 in the dirt. Here's the 2-1. It's in there for a strike. 2-2 pitch, missing inside to Sampson. Sampson, the best hitter on this Sioux City team at .335. He has started all 48 games as he thought he was going to be able to get a walk on the 3-2 pitch, but home plate umpire Mike Jarboe will call it a strike for out number 1. That's the third strikeout of the night for Tolles in the first out here in the 5th. Brings up the second baseman, Jarrett Cunningham. Cunningham, a strikeout victim tonight. He also flied out back in the first. As this big curveball will be in there for a strike at 67 miles an hour. The windup, the 1-1 pitch, big swing and a miss. So right now we're seeing a little bit better pace by Tolles. The issue for Tolles, pace-wise, rhythm-wise, as this pitch misses, is when somebody gets on base. Because he tries to read the runners, he is very slow and methodical as this pitch in the dirt. And the count's full to Cunningham. 88 pitches now for Josh Tolles through 4 1/3. The windup of the next pitch. Line off the glove of Mojica. Jimmy had it timed perfectly, but it just popped out of his glove, and Cunningham will have a one-out single here in the fifth. An outstanding attempt by Jimmy Mojica, but the ball was so sharply lined off the bat of Cunningham that it just popped out of the webbing. Brings up Tommy Mendonça. First pitch to Mendonça on the ground towards second. Wiley drifts to his left, gets it, and his only play will be to first to get Mendonça 4-3. Cunningham moves up to second base, and we've got two away for Ralph Enriquez. Enriquez 0 for 2. He was the first strikeout tonight for Josh Tolles, that coming in the second inning. A flight out to Rodriguez, ending the third. That was when the Explorers took this 2-0 lead. Goes after the first pitch and flies it over to Dalton Whedon right for out number 3. So the easiest inning thus far for Josh Tolles. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on. We go to the bottom of the fifth. 2-0 Explorers. Back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. Providence Medical Group has offices in Bonner Springs, Basehor, Tonganoxie, Lansing, Leavenworth, and KCK. That's why we're the go-to community hospital in the region. If you're a T-Bones fan, count on the medical team that takes care of your team. The great doctors of Providence Medical Center, just east of the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Learn more at providencekc.com.
Heathwood Oil Company was the first independently owned oil company in Kansas City, and they're now one of the oldest continuously family-owned oil companies in the Midwest, featuring Citgo lubricants. With a current bulk storage capacity of over 250,000 gallons, they have the products you need. Let Heathwood and Citgo design a Citgo lubricants program to reduce cost and increase production. Call 913-321-1764 or email sales@heathwoodoil.com. Heathwood and Citgo, your lubrication specialist since 1926.
We go to the bottom of the fifth on a relatively quiet night offensively for Kansas City. The T-Bones with 9 hits in the first game of this series, 9 hits last night. They have only 2 so far here tonight. 1 by Rodriguez and 1 by Brian Airy. So it'll be 5, 6, 7. Jimmy Mojica, Brett Wiley, Vladimir Frias here to face Cody Forsythe. Forsythe has really been on tonight. And as we get a little bit deeper into this game, we see Kansas City hitters pushing a little bit more. First pitch in there for a strike to Mojica. Mojica flying out to Matty Johnson in the second inning. Grounds this one sharply right under the legs of third base coach Dave Schaub. On that fly out by Mojica in the second, he had stepped out right before Forsythe's pitch. Home plate umpire Mike Jarbeau did not give him time, and Mojica just came in and swung and had a relatively easy fly out to Johnson. Counts 1-2 to Mojica, batting .444. Here's the windup and the 1-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss on a 92-mile-an-hour fastball from Forsythe. So Forsyth with 3 strikeouts, 2 last inning of Massey and Blackwood, and now 1 here in the 5th for the first out. Brings up the second baseman, Brett Wiley. Wiley tried to hold up on a swing, but he went around. Wiley walked his first time up. Coming into this game with a 9-game hitting streak. As he fouls it back to the screen. Wiley batting .326, 4 home runs, 26 RBIs. "14 of those 26 RBIs have come in the last 5 days. As Wiley chases one and goes down on strikes. So suddenly, Forsyth looking like a dominant strikeout guy. He has struck out 4 of his last 5 batters. And with 2 outs here in the 5th, it brings up Vladimir Frias, the shortstop. Vlad 0 for 1 tonight with a fly out ending the second inning. Grounds the first pitch to the second baseman Cunningham, who goes to first with no problem. And once again, Forsyth with a 1-2-3 inning, striking out the first 2 and getting a quick out for out number 3. Here in the 5th for Kansas City, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. We go to the 6th. Kansas City trails 2-0. Back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
Well, Josh Toll's last appearance on American soil for the next couple weeks is complete as he exits after 5 innings, trailing 2-0. John Kovalik, the new Kansas City pitcher. Kovalik, a right-hander, 5'10", 205, out of Aurora, Ohio. T-Bones acquiring Kovalik on June 30th. From Gary South Shore, completing an earlier trade. That trade being the one that sent Richard Castillo to Gary. Kovalik here on this season is making his third appearance for Kansas City. He's 1-0 with a 3.00 ERA. He's pitched in 3 innings for Kansas City, giving up 4 hits, 1 run. That run was earned. Has not walked a batter, has not struck out a batter. But opponents hitting .400 against him in those 2 games in a Kansas City uniform. On the season, Kovalik has appeared in 19 games. He's 1-0 with a 3.74 ERA. This season between Gary and Kansas City, Kovalik 21 2/3 innings, 25 hits, 9 runs. He's walked 9, struck out 15. Given up 1 home run, 7 doubles, 1 triple. He'll lead off with Tim Caldwell here as first pitch in there for a strike to Caldwell. 7-8-9, Caldwell, Coach, and Slattery here to face Kovalik. Josh Tolles went 5 innings tonight as this pitch is fouled back and out of play. Gave up 7 hits, 2 runs, both were earned. He walked 3, struck out 3. Gave up 1 home run, that being the difference in this game. Tolles threw 92 pitches, 54 for strikes. So Tim Caldwell in on the left side of the plate against the right-hander Kovalik. Next pitch is upstairs at 90 on the fastball from Kovalik. Kovalik out of the bullpen with nobody on base, works out of the stretch. We see a lot of pitchers doing that these days as Caldwell sends this 1-2 pitch into right field for a leadoff single. Kovalik has not pitched in this series for Kansas City. He did get a win for the T-Bones. The last time he pitched at Community America Ballpark back on July 2nd, that being last weekend against the Saints. He went 1 inning, gave up 1 hit. Matt Coach the batter now as the first pitch is down low. That was a game started by David Holman. That was tied until Kansas City took a 4-3 lead in the bottom of the 6th. Kovalik at that point was the pitcher of record. Quick throw to first, but diving back safely is Caldwell. Caldwell with his 16th stolen base of the season, that coming back in the 2nd inning here tonight. Kovalik, another throw. This one in the dirt. Blackwood scoops it out. Two balls, no strikes, no outs. We're in the top of the 6th inning, 2-0 Explorers. Kovalik just into the game for Kansas City, goes to first once again. You know, the one thing about a team that has 77 stolen bases on the year, as this pitch is upstairs, when they get a base runner on who has 16 stolen bases, it can really disrupt a pitcher. We saw it. We've actually seen it through this whole series. As this one's in there for a strike to Coach, but we're seeing it tonight, especially with Tolles and now Kovalik. By the way, those 77 stolen bases put Sioux City second in the league behind Wichita. Coming into tonight, Wichita with 81 stolen bases. Lincoln is last in the league with just 19. They have stolen 19. They've been caught 18 times. We'll see Lincoln in about a week and a half. Here's a 3-1 pitch, just a bit outside. So the first two are aboard here for Sioux City in the sixth. As Brian Airy will go out and talk with Kovalik. Kansas City's 40 stolen bases, kind of in the bottom half of the pack in the American Association. But again, Kansas City with half the number of steals for Wichita. Blackwood in at first as Kovalik fakes a throw back to second. Brendan Slattery the batter, and we're seeing something similar to what we saw in the second inning and in the fourth inning. The bottom third of the lineup for Sioux City getting on base. They had runners at first and third in the second before Slattery flied out, ending that inning. He shows bunt here, gets the bunt down. Kovalik's only play will be to first, and he'll make it for out number one. So a 1-3 sacrifice bunt by Slattery will give us one out of the inning, but it puts Caldwell at third and Coach at second. In the first inning, Sioux City tried to get runners at second and third via a double steal, but Matty Johnson, the lead runner, was thrown out at third for the third out of that inning. This time they execute a perfect sacrifice bunt by Slattery and get runners at second and third for the leadoff hitter Robinson. First pitch from Kovalik is high and away. Robinson 1 for 3 tonight. He's flied out, popped out, but also singled and scored. 2-0 Sioux City, top of the sixth. A wide open stance for Derek Robinson on the left side as this pitch misses high and away, and immediately Bill Sobey will pop out of the Kansas City dugout and go chat with Kovalik. Nobody warming up for Kansas City. T-Bone's using 4 pitchers on Thursday night. David Holman, the starter, went 5 innings, and then DeLuca came in, followed by Baker and Haynes. Kansas City went on to win that one 4-3. Last night, after Messer went 5, Josh Hodges, Brett Zawacki, Evan DeLuca, Aaron Baker, and Mark Haynes all came in for the T-Bones. You would think Baker and Haynes probably not available tonight. DeLuca would probably be used sparingly tonight. But Zawacki, who faced one batter last night, would be available. And I believe, we'll double check, I believe Zawacki is warming up for Kansas City now, as the 2-0 pitch is high and away to Robinson. So Kovalik threatening to walk the bases, loaded here in the 6th. Caldwell at third base, Coach at second. The 3-ball pitch is up high. So 2 walks in the inning given up by Kovalik. And it loads the bases for Matty Johnson. Bill Sobey quickly went down, hopped on the phone, and called out to the bullpen to check on his relief pitcher, Brett Zawacki. They say Zawacki's ready, and with that, John Mazzarelli will come out and relieve John Kovalik of his duties here tonight. So Kovalik gets 1 out here in the 6th and loads the bases for Brett Zawacki. Kansas City trailing it 2-0. But Matty Johnson, who had a 2-run homer back in the 3rd inning, will be the first batter for Brett Zawacki when we come back in 2 minutes on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid. The familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid. The familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
So Brett Zawacki, the 6'1 right-hander, 200 pounds, out of Peru, Illinois, will come on for Kansas City with the bases loaded and 1 out. Here in the 6th inning, trying to keep Sioux City within 2 runs. Has a tall order with the 2, 3, and possibly 4 hitters coming up here in the 6th with Caldwell at third, Coach at second, and Robinson at first. Zawacki making his 21st appearance on the season. He's 0-3 with an 8.78 ERA. That, for all intents and purposes, is the highest among T-Bone's pitchers. The only one higher is Jake Blackwood, who's at 36, but we really aren't going to count Blackwood. At least not for this exercise. Zawacki, 26 2/3 innings. He's given up 34 hits. 27 runs in those 26 2/3 innings. First pitch to Johnson is in there for a strike. Zawacki has walked 15, struck out 28. He's given up 5 home runs, 14 doubles. Here's the one-strike pitch. It's tapped foul. So Zawacki ahead in the count 0-2 against Matty Johnson, who got his first home run tonight. Back in the third inning, that is what put the Explorers ahead 2-0. Robinson was on first base when Johnson got one up in the jet stream down the left field corner, and it was initially called a foul ball as he lifts this one into right field. Wheat comes in, makes a basket catch, a strong throw toward the plate, but not in time as crossing safely, and Mike Jarbeau, and you'll notice this from time to time from umpires, they will stare at home plate if a runner does not touch the plate. And evidently, I thought Caldwell touched, but Jarbeau kept staring at it. Erie at that point was walking towards Zawacki and didn't realize that Caldwell evidently had not touched the plate. Erie and Caldwell realized at the same time, but Caldwell was already had his momentum going back toward home, and he touched it before he was tagged. So a 3-0 game. Runners at first and second for Sampson. First pitch to Sampson's down low. A good throw by Wheat from right field, but just a hair late to get Caldwell. As this slider misses way inside. So 2 outs in the inning now. And a 2-0 count to Sampson. Sampson batting .333, 3 home runs, 35 driven in. Next pitch is right down the chute for a called strike. Two balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. 3-0 Sioux City. Zawacki a long look at second before coming to the plate. As the off-speed pitch slowing away, and Sampson able to hold up on the check swing. So Sampson should get a pretty good pitch to hit here on 3-1. He doesn't. It's low and away. So the first walk for Zawacki. The runners at second and third are credited to Kovalik. So Coach at third, Robinson at second. With the bases loaded, Zawacki will go back to the full windup. And the first pitch to Cunningham is lifted into center field. Massey comes in. Still coming in. Will make the play for out number 3. Well, the damage could have been a lot worse, but the way Forsythe has been pitching, it might be bad enough. Here in the 6th inning, Sioux City will get 1 run. They do it on just 1 hit. There were 3 walks in the inning by Kovalik and Zawacki. There were no errors, and the bases remain loaded here in the 6th. We go to the bottom of the 6th, 3-0 Sioux City. We're back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
Kansas City trailing it 3-0 as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. The T-Bones have had just one base runner over the minimum here tonight. That coming back in the 2nd inning. Otherwise, an inning-ending double play in the 1st, an inning-ending double play in the 3rd, and then 4 strikeouts in the last 2 innings have aided Cody Forsythe here tonight, who came into this game 3-3 with a 6.48 ERA. First pitch to Brian Erie, misses high and away. It's Erie, Wheat, and then back to the top with Rodriguez. Forsythe's next pitch is outside. Forsythe, as I've mentioned, has given up 12 home runs this year. That's double what any other Sioux City pitcher has given up. But Kansas City has not come even close to really giving Forsythe any problems. Whether it's with the long ball or just putting some hits together, as we've seen the T-Bones do, particularly in these last couple games. We'll see if they can get something going here as Brian Erie walks on 4 pitches. That'll be the 2nd walk of the night given up by Forsythe. And it's Kansas City's first base runner since the 3rd inning. Brings up Dalton Wheat. First pitch to Wheat, line towards center, and it's going to be caught by Matty Johnson. Matty Johnson, a 5'10" center fielder. If Wheat had gotten a little bit more behind that ball, might have gone over Johnson's head, but as it stands, it'll be an F8 for number 1. Brian Erie holds up at first base. We go back to the top now with Starlin Rodriguez. Whereas by this time, the last couple nights, Kansas City has had just 1 or 2 guys each night that had not reached base. It's somewhat the opposite tonight. Rodriguez, one of 4 batters tonight who has reached base. He singled back in the 1st. That was erased by a double play grounded into by Blackwood. One and 1 the count now to Starlin. The next pitch popped up. An easy can of corn in foul territory for the 3rd baseman Mendonça, who makes the play for out number 2. Kansas City tonight has had only 5 balls leave the infield. Now we're 5 2/3 through this game. First pitch a strike to Massey, who's 0 for 2. Massey has popped out and struck out. Forsythe kicks and delivers, and it's fouled back to the screen. Forsythe has 4 strikeouts tonight. 2 of those came in the 4th, 2 of those came last inning. There is now some action in the Sioux City bullpen. Although Forsythe, here in the 6th inning, is at only 63 pitches. He throws over to first, but Erie back safely. Brian Erie had his first stolen base attempt and first stolen base of the season last night. That coming on a delayed steal after they had thrown over there several times. This pitch is high to Massey. Erie with a lead, his hands on his knees at first. The 1-2 pitch is fouled back and out of play. Kansas City in their oxblood jerseys tonight, trimmed in black and white with the white pants. Sioux City with their black jerseys, trimmed in red and white, and the gray pants. 1-2, 2 outs. The kick and the pitch from Forsythe. Fastball at 91, it's going away. We've seen Forsythe hit 93 tonight. Still hitting low 90s here in the 6th. And after someone was up for Sioux City, they're now sitting down. And again, the way Forsythe has been pitching, there's really no reason to even consider going to the bullpen at this point. Full count to Massey. Here's the kick and the payoff pitch. Big swing and a miss. So Massey will be the 5th strikeout of the night. And the 3rd out here in the 6th inning. So Kansas City gets the leadoff runner aboard via a walk, but Brian Erie will be stuck at first after a fly out, a pop out, and a strikeout. We go to the 7th, 3-0 Explorers. We're back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
Kansas City trailing at 3-0 as we go to the 7th inning. The 5, 6, 7 hitters, Mendoza, Enriquez, and Caldwell coming up here against Brett Zawacki. Zawacki came in relief of John Kovalik last inning. We can now close the book on Kovalik as he had a couple runners aboard when the third out was made. Kovalik went 1/3 of an inning, gave up 1 hit, 1 run, walked 2, threw 14 pitches, 5 for strikes. So the inning could have been a lot worse for Kansas City, with the bases loaded and just 1 out, but Zawacki came in, got Matty Johnson to fly out to right. That scored Caldwell. And then after walking Sampson, Zawacki got a fly out from Cunningham, ending the inning. So here we go to the 7th. Tommy Mendonça will lead things off. Mendonça 0 for 3 tonight. Hitting .261 on the year, and on the left side of the plate is the first pitch from Zawacki, misses down low. Zawacki with a long look in, gets the one he wants, wheels and deals the 1-ball pitch, and it's lifted to center field. Massey will take about 5 steps to his left. Couple steps in, camp under to pull it down for out number 1. So 1 up, 1 down here in the 7th. Sioux City has scored in 2 innings tonight, 2 runs in the 3rd, 1 in the 6th. In each of those 2 innings, the leadoff runner got on base. As the first pitch to Enriquez is down low. Enriquez 0 for 3 tonight. The windup of the 1-ball pitch is tapped foul at home plate. T-Bone's off tomorrow, so this is the finale of this 3-game series. T-Bone's off tomorrow and then begin a 10-game road trip. Laredo, Joplin, and Lincoln, as this goes under the glove of Vladimir Frias. I'm not sure if he didn't see it or what, but he almost just, we'll call it a dive, but he almost just kind of flopped down. I'm not sure what happened to Frias on that one. But Enriquez will be at first base with 1 out here in the 7th. We'll wait to see how they rule that one. Would not be shocked if it ends up being an error on Frias. Caldwell, the batter now, as the first pitch is upstairs. He goes down as a hit for Enriquez. The 1-ball pitch to Caldwell is in there for a strike. But that was one of the more bizarre plays we've seen from Frias. And I mentioned last night, he's just in a bit of a funk, certainly offensively. As the runner takes off, the pitch is swung on a miss. The throw down to second is not in time, is sliding in safely. With the stolen base will be the catcher, Enriquez. For Enriquez, that will be his first stolen base attempt and first stolen base here this season. So he'll be in scoring position with 1 out here in the top of the 7th, with Sioux City leading it 3-0. As Erie will call time and stand up for a moment. Now squats back behind the plate. Zawacki gets the one he wants. The right-hander comes set at the belt. A long look at second. Now kicks and delivers the 1-2 pitch. That's fouled back and out of play. So 1-2 to Caldwell. The pitch is fouled off Caldwell's foot. Caldwell 2 for 3 tonight. Had a double and a stolen base in the second inning. Led off last inning with a single, and he eventually came in to score on the sacrifice fly by Matty Johnson. Erie with Caldwell set up outside, and the pitch is way outside for ball 2. And they have changed Enriquez to an E6. So 8 hits now in the game for the Explorers. As Caldwell fouls this one back. So Frias now with a team leading 14 errors this season. As Zawacki spending a lot of time looking at Enriquez at second base. Steps off the rubber for a moment, now back up there, gets the one he wants from Erie. Comes set, checks Enriquez, comes to the plate to Caldwell, and Caldwell lines it just foul down the right field side. Fireworks coming up after the game tonight, presented by Community America Credit Union. Here's the kick and the 2-2 pitch. Lined over the head of Frias into left center. Enriquez will hold up at third base, and as the throw came in, it went over the head of Mojica, but Zawacki's able to track it down before Caldwell goes to second. So the third hit of the night for Caldwell, and it brings up Matt Coach. Matt Coach has been on base all 3 times tonight, a couple of walks and a single. Zawacki, a good ground ball pitcher, delivers the first one, curveball upstairs. But a good double play situation here for Kansas City. T-Bones trailing it 3-0. We're in the top of the 7th. Enriquez gets his lead at third. Caldwell down at first. Zawacki goes back over to first and just barely missing. Caldwell went in standing up, and Blackwood almost able to apply the tag to Caldwell's feet before he got back in there. Zawacki once again goes over to first. So once again, the stolen base threat of the Explorers, throwing off the timing of a Kansas City pitcher. Here's the 1-ball pitch. It's lifted into right field. This could score a run. It's deep enough. Wheat makes the play. Throws to home. It's not going to be cut off. but it is going to be late as Sioux City will take a 4-0 lead. So 2 outs in the inning, but it's now 4-0 Sioux City. Caldwell holds up at first. Brings up the first baseman, Brendan Slattery. First pitch to Slattery on the inside corner for a called strike. Kansas City this season, when trailing after 5 innings, is 3-18. The T-Bones trailed 2-0 after 5. When trailing after 7, that drops to 2-21. We're in the top of the 7th here with Kansas City trailing it 4-0. The T-Bones have won their last 4 series. And in each of those series, going back to the trip to Lincoln at the end of June, the T-Bones won the first 2 games and then lost the series finale. Zawacki comes set at the belt. The 1-1 to Slattery. High chopper toward third. Tough play from Mojica. He backtracks, picks it up, throws to first. It's going to be scooped by Blackwood, and they'll get Slattery on the 5-3 putout for out number 3. But not before Sioux City has another run. They get 1 run on 1 hit. There was 1 error. And the Explorers leave 1 on base. It's stretch time at Community America Ballpark with Kansas City trailing at 4-0. We're going to take a 2-minute break. Be back with the bottom of the 7th after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid. The familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid. The familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. It'll be Jake Blackwood, Anthony Gallus, Jimmy Mojica. Here to face Cody Forsyth. Forsyth started the game tonight for the Explorers, and he has gone 6 innings. He has not looked like a pitcher coming in here, 3-3 with a 6.48 ERA, and they've given up 12 home runs. He is looking like one of the best pitchers in the league at this point. He's given up just 2 hits tonight, and he has walked 2. However, although he has allowed 4 base runners, he has faced just 2 over the minimum. So he has faced 20 batters tonight. We'll see if Kansas City can get something going here with the 3-4-5 hitters, Blackwood, Gallus, and Mojica. Blackwood over 2. He grounded into a double play in the first inning and then struck out swinging in the 4th. He chased a couple high fastballs from Forsyth that time, as the first pitch here is in there for a strike. Forsyth has thrown now just 69 pitches. Sioux City will get somebody warming up as Blackwood launches a chopper to third base, and he is going to be out at first as the throw from the third baseman Mendoza was high. It brought Slattery off the bag, but first base umpire Trent Delmont will say that Blackwood, who went in sliding, will be out at first base on a 5-3 putout. So 1 away here in the 7th for the DH, Anthony Gallus. Gallus has popped out and flied out. The only base runners tonight for Kansas City as Gallus will line this one right at Mendoza, who's there for out number 2. So 3 pitches, 2 outs here in the 7th inning. Brings up Jimmy Mojica, who's 0 for 2. To make it easy, I'll just tell you that the only base runners tonight for Kansas City have been Rodriguez, Brett Wiley, Brian Airy twice, and Dalton Wheat, who reached on a fielder's choice. First offering is in there for a strike to Mojica. Mojica flied out in the 2nd inning and struck out leading off the 5th. Forsyth, this one's down low. Forsyth, who did not have a strikeout through the first 3 innings, struck out 5 through the middle 3 innings. Leaves this change up upstairs. This pitch is upstairs, so Jimmy Mojica will walk and give Kansas City a little bit of life here in the bottom of the 7th. That's the 3rd walk of the night, given up by Cody Forsyth, and with 2 outs here in the 7th, it'll bring up Brett Wiley. The way this game has gone, for all intents and purposes, this could be Wiley's last chance to extend his hitting streak to 10 games. This would be obviously a prime time to do that. Goes after the first pitch and lifts it into center field for a can of corn for Matty Johnson. Johnson's there, and Kansas City's retired in the 7th. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left on. 7 of the books. We head to the 8th. Kansas City trailing at 4-0. We're back after this. A 2-minute timeout as we'll get a pitching change on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Well, we close the book on Brett Zawacki as we go to the top half of the eighth inning. Brett Zawacki 1 2/3 tonight, gave up 1 hit, 1 run. That run was unearned. He walked 1, did not strike out any, threw 28 pitches, 18 for strikes. So as we go to the eighth inning, Johnny Shuttlesworth will be the new pitcher for Kansas City. Shuttlesworth, 6'1", 220 pounds, out of Tuscaloosa, Alabama. I almost want to get my Keith Jackson voice when I say that. Whoa, Nelly out of Tuscaloosa, Alabama. So Derek Robinson will lead things off against Shuttlesworth and chops this one down towards second. Wiley up with it quickly over to first for out number 1 here in the eighth inning. So 1 up, 1 down here in the eighth for the center fielder, Matty Johnson. Johnson got things going for the Explorers back in the third inning with a 2-run home run. After Robinson singled, Johnson put one down the left field line that originally was called foul and then was changed to fair. Shuttlesworth, the right-hander, wheels and deals, and the 1-ball pitch paints the black on the outside corner for a called strike. Shuttlesworth 2-3 this season with 1 save, a 5.84 ERA. This is his 17th appearance as Johnson reaches out and fouls this one down the third base side. Shuttlesworth was a starter earlier in the year. Started 5 games for Kansas City before going to the bullpen. He has appeared in 37 innings, given up 50 hits, 27 runs, 24 of those have been earned. He has walked 14, struck out 35. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Make that 36 as Johnson will go down on strikes. Incidentally, that is a team-leading 36 strikeouts. He is ahead of Josh Tolles, who came into this game with 29, struck out 3, so Tolles has 32 now in the season. Brings up Sampson with 2 outs here in the eighth inning. It would be really nice to get a quick 1-2-3 inning and try to get the offense going in this 4-0 deficit to Sioux City. This pitch is down low. It's 2-0 to Sampson. So as I say that, Shuttlesworth, after a couple quick outs, finds himself behind the count 2-0, and this one's lifted into center field. Massey comes in and makes the play for out number 3. And folks, that is the first 1-2-3 inning by a Kansas City pitcher here tonight. 3 up, 3 down here in the 8th. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Kansas City trailing at 4-0. We're back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. Providence Medical Group has offices in Bonner Springs, Basehor, Tonganoxie, Lansing, Leavenworth, and KCK. That's why we're the go-to community hospital in the region. If you're a T-Bones fan, count on the medical team that takes care of your team. The great doctors of Providence Medical Center, just east of the ballpark at 89th and Parallel.
Citgo Lubricants. With a current bulk storage capacity of over 250,000 gallons, they have the products you need. Let Heathwood and Citgo design a Citgo Lubricants program to reduce cost and increase production. Call 913-321-1764 or email sales@heathwoodoil.com. Heathwood and Citgo, your lubrication specialist since 1926.
Not surprisingly, Cody Forsyth back on the hill for Sioux City as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. He'll be facing the 7, 8, 9 hitters, Frias, Erie, and Wheat. Kansas City with an unusual off day tomorrow. They will travel beginning later tonight to Laredo. They'll get to spend an off day tomorrow and pretty much all of Monday in beautiful Laredo, Texas, before beginning a 4-game series on Monday night. All 4 of those games in Laredo at 7:05. You can hear them right here on tbonesbaseball.com with Sam King on the mic for those. First pitch is strike to Vladimir Frias. Vladdy 0 for 2 tonight as he taps this one foul. Frias batting .211 on the season. Against lefties, he's hitting .264, and that will creep up a little bit as Vladimir Frias will get his second hit against the Explorers this season and his first hit in this 3-game series as he sends this one to left field for a leadoff single here in the 8th. So with Vladdy aboard, it brings up Brian Erie. Erie had 3 hits last night, 3 RBIs, and he's been on base both times here tonight. Singled leading off the 3rd inning before being forced out at second base on the ground out by Wheat. And then he walked leading off the 6th and was stranded at first. So Kansas City has to start somewhere in this 4-0 deficit, and they'll do so with Frias at first. The next pitch to Erie is on the inside part of the plate for a called strike. Brian Erie, .325. No home runs, 6 RBIs. Big swing and a miss that gets away from the catcher. Frias will round second and head to third as the catcher Enriquez did not see it. The ball skipped off the inside part of his left leg and went back toward the on-deck circle for Kansas City, and Enriquez was trying to find it around his feet. Meanwhile, Frias realized that Enriquez had no clue where the ball was. And Frias ends up at third base. So for the first time, we'll have a runner in scoring position and now just 90 feet away. Erie lifts it. 9 hits in his last 31 at-bats. He does have 7 of his 14 RBIs in his last 10 games. Big swing and a miss. Counts even up at 2-2. That fastball at 90 from Forsythe. And that was pitch number 89 here tonight. Forsythe, the lefty, comes set. The kick and the 2-2 pitch, swung on and missed. Wheat will go down on strikes. It'll be the 6th strikeout of the game as that came in at 92. And if you believe the pitchers here at Kansas City, they say the gun is 2 to 3 miles an hour slow. And you could say that that pitch from Forsythe here in the bottom of the 8th inning was about 94, 95. Either way, it's an absolutely huge strikeout as it's out number 2. Kansas City had Frias at third base with nobody out. Now it's Frias at third base with 2 outs. Starlin Rodriguez, the batter now. Rodriguez with 1 of 3 hits on the night for Kansas City. His came back in the first. The other hits have been by Brian Airy and Vladimir Frias. Here's the 1-ball pitch. It's way inside. So both pitches from Forsythe to Rodriguez inside. Kansas City trailing it 4-0. Here's the pitch. It's upstairs, so 3-0 now. To Starlin Rodriguez with the very hitterish Tyler Massey on deck. The automatic's in there for a call strike to Rodriguez. Here's the kick and the 3-1. It's lifted deep into center field. Going back is Johnson and reaches up and drops it. Kansas City will get on the board. Rodriguez will end up at third base with an RBI triple that makes it a 4-1 game here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Matty Johnson ran a country mile to the deepest part of the park. Reached up and just barely missed it. Right next to the Zaxby sign in front of the Kansas City bullpen. So the T-Bones are in business as Frias will come in. And now the exact same situation, a runner at third with 2 outs. Tyler Massey, the batter now, as the first pitch is high and away to Massey. Massey 0 for 3 with a couple strikeouts. He has a huge gap in right center. A kick in the pitch, and it's down low. So Forsythe at 97 pitches now with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th and a 2-0 count to Tyler Massey. The kick and the 2-ball pitch. Swung on but fouled right next to Frank White down at first base. Vladimir Frias led off this inning with a single. He went from first to third on a pass ball that the catcher Henriquez could not find. Henriquez was looking right around his feet at home plate. The ball had gone back next to the on-deck circle for the T-Bones. 2-1 pitch popped up. This should do it for the inning, as the left fielder Caldwell will camp under and pull it down. for out number 3. But not before the T-Bones will get on the board here in the 8th inning. They'll get 1 run on 2 hits. There were no errors, and 1 left on. We've played 8. We head to the 9th. Kansas City trailing at 4-1. We're back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. Providence Medical Group has offices in Bonner Springs, Basehor, Tonganoxie, Lansing, Leavenworth, and KCK. That's why we're the go-to community hospital in the region. If you're a T-Bones fan, count on the medical team that takes care of your team. The great doctors of Providence Medical Center, just east of the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Learn more at providencekc.com.
Heathwood Oil Company was the first independently owned oil company in Kansas City, and they're now one of the oldest continuously family-owned oil companies in the Midwest, featuring Citgo lubricants. With a current bulk storage capacity of over 250,000 gallons, they have the products you need. Let Heathwood and Citgo design a Citgo lubricants program to reduce costs and increase production. Call 913-321-1764 or email sales@heathwoodoil.com. Heathwood and Citgo, your lubrication specialist since 1926.
We go to the 9th. It's now a 4-1 Sioux City lead. Kansas City with a run in the bottom of the 8th inning. Definitely avoiding its 4th shutout of the season. T-Bones have been blanked 3 times, once on May 25th against Lincoln, 1-0. Once on June 2nd at Gary, 1-0 in a no-hitter thrown by Carl Triana. That was the 9th at Gary South Shore. Got a no-hitter from Triana and won the game on a walk-off in the bottom of the 9th. And then John Link beat Kansas City in a 9-0 shutout at Wichita on June 8th. Johnny Shuttlesworth back on the hill for Kansas City as Cunningham trying to hold up on a swing, but he goes around. Shuttlesworth came in last inning. Had a very effective 8-pitch, 3-out inning. As the 0-2 pitch will be a called 3rd strike, much to the dismay of Jarrett Cunningham. So the 2nd strikeout for Shuttlesworth and the 1st out here in the top of the 9th. Here's the kick and the 1 ball to Mendoza. It's in there for a strike. Next pitch just a bit down low. Looked like it was very similar to the last pitch. That'll be a 2-1 count now to Mendoza. Shuttlesworth wheels and deals the 2-1 pitch, and it's high and away. Mendoza 0 for 4 tonight. Couple flyouts and a couple groundouts. Here's the 3-1. Fouled back toward the Sioux City dugout. Kansas City off tomorrow, then begin a 4-game series at Laredo with Mike Kickham pitching on Monday night. As Mendoza fouls this one back and out of play. Here's the windup and the 3-2. Once again, foul. T-Bones trailing it by 3 runs, 4-1, with 1 out here in the 9th. This one's right back to Shuttlesworth, who will make the play. Mendoza will just kind of jog down toward first on the 1-3 putout for out number 2. T-Bones went trailing after 7 innings, 2-21. I'll see if they can scratch some runs together here in the bottom of the 9th. Make that 3-21. Ralph Enriquez, the batter now, as the first pitch is in there for a strike. Enriquez reached on an error his last time up, that with 1 out in the 7th. Lines this one toward the right field corner. It'll be a base hit. Cut off quickly by Wheat. Enriquez was just kind of trotting down to first. He had no intentions of going to second. So a single with 2 outs here in the 9th inning brings up the left fielder, Tim Caldwell. Caldwell 3 for 4 tonight. Has a double, a couple singles, a stolen base, and a run scored. Shuttlesworth's first pitch is in there for a strike. Josh Toll started tonight for Kansas City. He went 5 innings. Kovalik relieved him in the 6th and went 1/3 as this pitch is high and away. Brett Zawacki went 1 2/3, and Johnny Shuttlesworth is now at 1 2/3. Runner at first gets his lead. The pitch, a comebacker to Shuttlesworth off his glove. He picks it up, throws to first, not in time to get the speedy Tim Caldwell. So back-to-back base hits, as that was just a rocket just over the head of Shuttlesworth. He did all he could to get his glove up and knock it down. It was hit so hard by Caldwell that as it went off Shuttlesworth's glove, it went about 15 feet away from him. So by the time he got it over to first base, Caldwell, who has a lot of speed, was there with no problem. Brings up Matt Coach with runners at first and second and 2 outs. The bottom third of the lineup tonight has really hurt Kansas City. Tim Caldwell, the number 7 hitter, who's at first now with that single, has 4 hits in the game. Matt Coach, who's up now, has reached 3 times. Big swing and a miss. Also had a sacrifice fly in the 7th that brought in Enriquez. Slattery's been on once, but he also had a sacrifice bunt that put Caldwell at third. As this one swung on a miss, gets away from Erie, but not far enough for the runner at second, Enriquez, to try to advance. So 1 2 now to Matt Coach. Coach 1 for 1 tonight. Couple walks, base hit, and that sacrifice fly RBI. And on the right side of the plate, Shuttlesworth, the right-hander, comes set. The 1-2 pitch missed somewhere. There would not have been a lot of complaining if Mike Jarbeau had decided to ring up Coach with that pitch. Now a check swing that went right off the fence in front of John Mazzarella. He takes a step off. Knocked his hat off. Last night, Dalton Wheat's bat went to that exact same spot with Maz standing there. Here's the 2-2 pitch, a little bit inside. So a full count with 2 outs. The runners will be moving. Enriquez at second, Caldwell at first. Kansas City trailing 4-1. Shuttlesworth kicks and delivers, check swing foul. And we'll do it again on 3-2. Fireworks after the game tonight, sponsored by Community America Credit Union. And you can catch all the action from this upcoming 10-game road trip right here at tbonesbaseball.com. Here's the 3-2 once again. And it's tipped foul by Coach. Erie unable to hold on to it. Shuttlesworth struck out Cunningham, got Mendoza to ground out before giving up back-to-back singles to Enriquez and Caldwell. 11 hits in the game now for the Explorers. Once again, a 3-2 pitch. Runners will be going. And once again, a foul by Matt Coach. Chances are Connor Overton will be coming in for Sioux City when this inning is over. Once again, the payoff pitch, swung on and missed. So Shuttlesworth will strike out 2 here in the inning. Has 3 in the game and 3 outs in the 9th. T-Bones down to their final 3 outs, trailing it 4-1. We're back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
Country Inn and Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn and Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, Make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
Well, on a night when your offense has been sputtering a little bit, you'd rather not face Connor Overton. But that's what's lying ahead here for Kansas City as we go to the bottom of the ninth with Sioux City leading it by a score of 4-1. Connor Overton, basically the closer for Sioux City. He's 4-0 with 5 saves and a 1.14 ERA. 6 feet tall, 190 pounds. Out of Mechanicsville, Virginia. First pitch in there for a strike to Blackwood. Going to be Blackwood, Gallus, and Mojica. As this pitch is way outside. Overton in 18 games this year. 23 2/3 innings, given up 12 hits, 3 runs. He's walked 10, struck out 30. Here's the 1-1. It's low and away. No home runs, 3 doubles, no triples. Opponents hitting 150 against the right-hander Overton. Here's the 2-1 to Blackwood. Swung on, lifted high into right field. Right fielder coming in, and he'll make the catch on his knees practically. As Cunningham, the second baseman, is going back, coached the right fielder coming in, and Cunningham tailed off at the last minute. So coach had to go after it and kind of went down to his knees to make the catch. So 1 away here in the ninth, and it brings up Anthony Gallus. Four to 1 in favor of Sioux City. Anthony Gallus looking for his first hit tonight. And on the right side of the plate, the kick and the 1-strike pitch is a little bit down low. Your attendance tonight, 6,179. One of the better crowds we've had this year. We'll see if they can be entertained with a 3-run comeback here in the ninth. Gallus tried to make it a 4-2 game, but instead he's behind in the count, 1-2. Four runs, 11 hits for the Explorers, 1-4-1 for Kansas City. Overton, the right-hander, kicks and delivers, and the 1-2 pitch is swung on and missed. So Anthony Gallus will be the first strikeout for Overton. And the T-Bones basically down to their last out. T-Bones trailing it 4-1, 2 outs, nobody on here in the bottom of the ninth. Mojica at the plate. He walked his last time up, but he watches this one go by for a called strike. Mojica flied out in the second inning, struck out leading off the fifth. Overton kicks and delivers. Big swing and a miss. 90 on that fastball from Overton. Brett Wiley, who's 9-game hitting streak is on the line, awaits on deck. He will not get a chance at number 10 unless Mojica gets on here. Pitch is way upstairs. They will appeal as Mojica was just trying to get out of the way, but Trent Delmont saying that he did not go around. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. After Forsythe went 8 innings, Overton is here trying to close things down in the 9th. Misses down low on this one to Mojica. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The kick and the pitch fouled back and over our heads. It went off the facing above us. Went down about the 3rd or 4th row, hit the railing, and then scooted through that one small opening in the net between the regular backstop and then the new netting behind the dugout. Here's the 2-2 from Overton to Mojica. Fouled back off the screen. Count remains 2-2. Explorers leading it 4-1. They have led this entire game. Next pitch, tapped foul down the third base side. Kansas City won the first 2 games of this series, but in spite of that, if they lose this, they will still trail Sioux City in the standings. 2 teams came in here 22 and 26 tonight. Here's the 2-2 to Mojica, again fouled back to the screen. So Mojica is making the rookie Overton work here in the bottom of the 9th inning with 2 outs. Overton, after a couple quick outs to Blackwood and Gallus. Has had his work cut out for him against Mojica. Once again, the 2-2. Mojica lifts this one into right center. The center fielder, Matty Johnson, cuts behind the right fielder coach and makes the catch for the final out of the game. So a 3-up, 3-down inning here in the 9th for the T-Bones, and they'll lose it by a final of 4-1. Kansas City will drop to 22 and 27 on the season. The Explorers will improve to 23 and 26. And the 2 teams will be in the same spot they were in the Central Division coming into this 3-game series, with the Explorers ahead of Kansas City in the standings. The Explorers in 3rd place in the Central. Kansas City will sit in 4th place as they get sent for a 10-game road trip to Laredo, Joplin, and Lincoln coming up. The next home game for Kansas City won't be until later in the month on Friday the 22nd against Winnipeg. This was a game that Kansas City trailed from the early part. In the 3rd inning, a big 2-run homer for Matty Johnson, somewhat a controversial call as it went down the left field line. Looked like it was foul from here. In fact, home plate umpire Mike Jarbeau called it foul originally, and then after manager Steve Montgomery complained about it a little bit, Jarbeau checked with Matt Herrera, the 3rd base umpire, who at that point was basically over by second base. And Herrera said, yes, it was a home run. So that put Kansas City behind 2-0 in the third inning. Sioux City added to their lead with a run in the sixth and a run in the seventh. The T-Bones with their one and only run tonight coming in the eighth inning after Vladimir Frias singled and went to third base on a pass ball, went to second and third on the same pass ball. He was knocked in eventually with 2 outs in the inning by Starlin Rodriguez, who tripled, but that was all Kansas City could really muster all night against Cody Forsyth. Forsyth getting the win tonight. He improves to 4-3 on the season. Josh Tolles picks up the loss. Tolles drops to 4-3 as well. Sioux City, 4 runs on 11 hits, no errors, 13 left on. The T-Bones, 1 run on 4 hits, 1 error, and 4 left on base. Forsyth with the win, Tolles with the loss. Overton comes in here in the ninth inning, throws about 20 pitches, and picks up the save. That is his 6th save here of the season. The attendance, 6,179, and the game time, 2 hours and 55 minutes. We'll be off tomorrow and then comes back. And then we'll come back on Monday night, 4-game series at Laredo, Monday through Thursday, and then a 3-game weekend series next weekend at Joplin. The first 6 games of this week will all start at 7:05 next Sunday at Joplin, 5:05. Off next Monday, 3 games against Lincoln, all at 6:35. Then Kansas City comes back home against Winnipeg and Gary, a 6-game homestand beginning on July 22nd. For executive producer, engineer, Charlie Boy, this is Matt Folks. Until next time, again telling you Kansas City losing it 4-1. Until next time, be safe and take care, everyone. This game on the T-Bones Broadcast Network was brought to you by Community America Credit Union, Austin's Trailers and Motorsports, Budweiser, Coca-Cola, Price Chopper, Providence Medical Center, the Kansas Lottery, FlyKCI.com, Roma Bakery, Sheet Metal Local Number 2, and Kissick Construction. Tune in online all season to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. Click on the Watch Live or Listen Live buttons at TBonesBaseball.com. T-Bones Baseball, that's fun. Well done.